Welcome to Deep Fat Fried. Scotty,
Yes, TJ?
do you know why you shouldn't eat clocks?
Probably not digestible.
It's because it's too time-consuming,
What if it was a really small clock?
especially if you go in for seconds. Wow.
Wow. Okay, that one had a follow-up, so it was pretty good.
TJ Kirk, ladies and gentlemen, be here all week.
I'll be here all goddamn miserable cock-sucking fucking week.
Take my wife, please.
No, take my wife.
I take my wife everywhere, but she keeps coming back.
But yeah.
Got those fucking zingers, dude.
So Scotty was supposed to do an episode on Joe Rogan controversies, but he just decides last minute, hey, I did one on pandemics instead.
Yeah?
I didn't know we could do that. I didn't know we could just show up and be like, yeah, I didn't do the episode we all agreed to mutually. I just did my own thing.
Well, you know what happened, TJ? I thought about how much I give a shit about your opinion, and then I realized it was not at all.
You know what? And what I say when you fucking said you want to do that Joe Rogan episode?
Well, no,
Scotty?
here's why.
What I say? No, what I say?
No,
just tell me what I
here's
said.
why.
Tell me what I said, Scotty.
No, TJ, here's why I did the episode. I'm not going to fucking play your
Well, tell me
little
what
game.
I said.
I don't care what you said. I don't even
Paul,
remember.
do you remember what I said?
I do.
I don't remember what you said. Because
You know what I said?
Because I don't fucking listen, bitch.
That's obvious. You know what I said? I said, I don't think there's enough meat on that bone, Scotty. I don't think Joe Rogan's had enough controversies.
That had nothing to do with it, actually.
Oh, okay.
Actually, had zero to do with it.
Oh, all right.
What it was, TJ, was looking around me. I looked around reality, TJ, and I'm like,
Oh, you did, huh?
yeah, I looked around, looked at what people were talking about, and I was like, you know what? People don't even know shit about this, what's going on with this coronavirus, and I just feel like we need another episode to remind humanity yet again that we're doomed to repeat the same failures.
But, you know, by the time this episode comes out, the coronavirus will probably either be nothing or everyone will be dead from it. So, I mean, like, they already know.
I don't think everyone will be
At
dead
this
from
point,
it.
they've gotten a lesson.
No.
By now, we are all of us dead men. Dead.
Well, if they're dead, then it doesn't matter anyways. None of this matters to begin with.
Dead.
You'll be fucking dead, bitch.
Are we back in the Edge-isode? This looks like it would be in my Edge-isode.
Anal cunt death.
Anal cunt death 9000. So, TJ, in our quest to ignore...
Putrid cunt flagellation 9000. All right, no, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's fine. You gotta fucking exercise those demons out of you, TJ. I got it.
Sorry, go ahead.
Dude, you're like doing the satanic version of like the Pentecostals speaking in tongues.
Just sounds like TJ eating a bowl of chili.
This is good chili. No, not spicy enough. More. Sorry.
Anything else you got in there, TJ?
Fuck me.
Yeah, hold on. Let me just get it all out. Let me just exercise the
I don't think it's
demons
even
real
possible. Okay.
All right, I think it's
So
good.
for once, in the audio
Sorry
format
about that.
of this show, I cannot,
Sorry about that.
I'm not the one being blamed for people's bleeding eardrums.
Is that it? Is that, you got any more? You got any more demons, TJ?
No, I'm good.
All right.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm good.
Are you all right, TJ?
I'm good.
You all right?
I'm great.
You feeling good?
I'm fucking fabulous.
I'll get
fabulous.
mine out, too, real quick.
Okay.
Oh, hold on. Let me put you on screen for it.
All right. All right.
Get your sigh out.
Yeah.
Good to go.
Thanks for asking.
That's the form that my demon takes.
Oh, another day being Paul.
My demon is basically Eeyore.
Yeah. It's okay to be Paul, but I don't want to be me.
I hate all these motherfuckers in the 100-acre wood. Fuck them.
I went out to the woods.
Stevie, if anything, is Eeyore.
I went out to the woods expecting to be alone, but I'm not.
Damn. Poor Eeyore.
I know, dude. It's sad.
Tell us about fucking pandemic,
So, TJ,
Scotty.
in our quest to ignore the inevitably short and harsh nature of our trivial existence, we often engage in paranoia of all things to cut our lives even shorter, TJ. Mm-hmm. Anything can cut your life short, TJ. Anything at all. Stairs, a blanket, a car. Never know when your fucking number's going to be called, do you?
Could be called any second.
You can't escape the news of the coronavirus, TJ. And immediately our minds go to every sort of pop culture analog. The Stand.
Oh.
You guys have been talking about this kind of incessantly.
Dude, my cover doesn't look like that.
You don't have the cool cover.
That's the original color. That's the original uncut cover.
I want to... Man, what the hell?
Yeah, my dad had a lot of first printing paperbacks of Stephen King's.
Oh, cool.
I still have a box of them somewhere.
This is very similar. I actually found the first cover. It's pretty much this, but they just changed the scenery a little bit. But it's a really cool cover. And I know you guys have been kind of going on, and I think that's kind of in keeping with... well, Paul, I don't know. Did you listen to The Stand before you heard about the coronavirus or after?
I'll be honest with you. I started listening to it right around the time that I started hearing the coronavirus thing. I don't know which one came first, honestly. It was right at the same time.
Mine was definitely after. Well, I heard that Paul was using it before he'd go to bed at night. He would listen to some of The Stand, and I was like, that sounds pretty cool. So I started doing it. I discovered the Stand is kind of weird. Like, as I fall asleep to it, a lot of times, like, the words will intermingle with the beginnings of my dreams.
That happens to me a lot with any of these audiobooks I found.
Yeah,
like,
so
it'll bleed into my dreams.
So it's like I'll
cool.
listen to I'll usually set the timer for about an hour. And, usually during that hour, I'm kind of in and out of it. And I'll kind of lose the meaning of the words and then come back into it. And it'll start, I'll start kind of dreaming it.
You're kind of drifting off to sleep.
And sometimes my dreams will take over and it'll start interjecting its own book, Yeah, but it's pretty cool. I've been listening. I'm probably on I'm only on chapter 8 or something.
Well, the point is, but the reason why that is kind of interest to you is what the events that are going on.
The coronavirus. Yeah, I mean it spurned it.
And what this movie's actually back on top. And of course I pulled this this particular poster for a reason.
Humana.
Don't talk to anyone.
I'd let him wear me like a hazmat suit.
Oh.
And of course, TJ, we can't forget about
the greatest fucking game series.
Now, this is obviously a more extreme take on a virus spreading through the human population.
Speak for yourself. I think this is exactly what the coronavirus ultimately will do.
This is the one I'm waiting for.
Oh, the T virus to come about and wipe out.
I want the zombie virus.
And I'm gonna go live with Stevie and mooch off of his berries and fish.
Oh, dude, but TJ, what happens when the fucking fish and berries start to run low? TJ, my provisions are scarce.
I was gonna say you could stay with Stevie in something, but I don't want to reveal the name that I have for Stevie's domicile.
Yeah,
Stevie's future
but you
domicile.
could stay in that.
La Casa de Stevie.
Yeah,
that's the polite name for it.
So, TJ, the diseases and viruses may kill us via different methods, but the results remain the same.
Yeah, you're fucking dead.
Humanity is pushed to the brink of extinction.
Yeah.
In a way, it's almost a comical thought, TJ.
In a way, it is an outright comical thought.
Yeah, because the next image we're going to see here. So the UN population projection by country and world regions. TJ, look at this handy little thing. You can actually play it if you want. So this is started in 1950. Here's the population. Got some humans. We got some humans. Oh, shit. We're getting more humans. Up. Oh, man, we're getting more humans. More humans. More fucking humans.
Oh, shit. What's that?
More. Oh, now it's 7 billion?
Oh, God.
Oh, no. Oh, my God. How many more billions?
Stop it. Stop.
How many more billions?
No.
Keep going. 10 billion. Yeah, we can do it, humanity. Keep going. Keep going. Believe in humanity. Keep going.
Oh. Oh, no. No.
So, in the projection we watched here, if you're listening, in this projection,
do not
the world population will be around 11.2 billion by 2100.
What is it now? 8 billion? 9 billion? Something like that?
7 billion.
7?
Somewhere around there. And we would, and actually, people are estimating right now that in the 22nd century, we would actually finally hit our peak for population.
God.
But they don't really know. After 2100, I guess the projections, people no one really has a good model of what's going to potentially happen.
I don't think anybody assumes we're going to make it that long. So they're just like, all right, we'll just do it to 2100.
And then at this point, we're pretty much dead. Everyone, it goes to zero real quick after this. I love it.
But as the world population expands, it seems we all are we basically sit back and think, when the fuck does something come along and just fuck this shit up and end everything? Tonight we will look into pandemics from the past and the influence they've made. And, of course, they talk about the virus that everyone's talking right now, the coronavirus. And I think the interesting thing about the coronavirus is how people understand so little in the media. The picture the media is giving to people is so incomplete, and it's just basically just sending around fear-mongering. And I think when we actually look and learn more about it, we can see, obviously, the potential for destruction, but we also see the potential for people to exploit this for their own means. So, TJ, what is a pandemic? Do you have any idea what a pandemic is?
Yeah, it's when two pandas fuck.
It's pandemonium. Hot panda on panda action.
TJ.
Yeah, what's up?
Disappointing you, man. Disappointed.
I'm sorry.
So,
A pandemic is a disease what spreads all over the globe.
That is fucking correct, Paul. Thank you for actually doing your homework.
I've never
Snap.
heard of that.
So, TJ, a pandemic is when an epidemic spreads between two countries. You might say, what's an epidemic? An epidemic is a sudden increase in the number
It's
of...
the music library I use for my
that's
videos.
right, TJ. And cases of a disease more than what's typically expected for the population in that area. And obviously, as Paul said, a pandemic is when an epidemic that spreads over several countries or continents affecting a large number of people.
That's pretty cool.
So, TJ, you want to learn about an ancient pandemic?
Sure.
Next image, please, TJ.
What's this?
This is the Antonine Plague, TJ.
Antonine?
Yes.
Okay.
From 165 AD to 189 AD. So this went off and on. Can you pull up can you pull up the next image as well? This is actually
Oh, shit. There was like angels and
Yes,
shit
dude.
murdering people in the streets?
an actual
Damn.
photograph from the time. Not many exist, 'cause obviously it was a long time ago. This is the Angel
Whoa.
of Death
Cool.
striking a door during the Plague of Rome.
Is the angel of death a dude or a chick?
Kind of androgynous.
Yeah, I'm kind of confused. Like, my boner's not sure which way to go.
I mean, but back
Mine knows exactly where to go.
then when death was coming,
Dude, look
for
at that
you-
dead chick. She's like dying, but she's like grabbing on her tit and stuff. She's like, oh, death, sweet death.
Well, like I said to you, back in the day, now the disease will just kill you. Back then, the Angel of Death actually came to your door and was like, "You're fucked, TJ."
Yeah, that's so lazy now. Because, like, we're always hearing about this angel of death, but, like, honestly, like, you people die all the time. I haven't heard one fucking report of a sighting of this motherfucker in a fucking age.
Do you know
Man.
another name for this plague, TJ? The Plague of Galen.
Whoa.
Oh, shit.
Cool.
And by the way, the death toll on this one's estimated to be about 5 million people. So,
That's
TJ,
not
next,
so bad.
Next image, please, TJ. So,
It's not so bad.
not this Galen, of course, though.
This is it. Galen killed him, dude. Galen killed 5 million people right after he ate fucking 7 fillets.
I'm sure that's what it was. It's this, dude. It's the old Greek Galen. The one that, the Galen you know.
Hey, wait a minute.
Galen grew a beard.
They're the same fucking person, dude. You can't
I know you
convince
were
me
gonna
otherwise.
say. I know you were gonna say that, dude.
They look the same.
You think Galen's an immortal time traveler, or are you just someone that just goes through the ages?
Wouldn't surprise me.
Galen has just drifted through all the fucking space and time to
I
come
think-
to this moment.
Seems like he probably has.
Well, he went from witnessing plagues to witnessing disasters, TJ, which that'd be your career.
Cool.
So the Antonine Plague was an ancient pandemic that affected Asia Minor, Egypt, Greece, and Italy, and it's thought to have either been smallpox or measles, though the true cause obviously is still unknown. So basically, a bunch of Roman soldiers were in like Iran or Mesopotamia around 165 AD, and unknowingly, they spread a disease which would end up killing over 5 million people and decimating the Roman army.
Oh.
So in 165, well, this says CE, but AD, whatever. Rome was flourishing. The empire was shared between two rulers, the philosopher warriors Marcus Aurelius and Lucius Verus. Verus was just returning from what is now Iran after quelling a rebellion among the Parthians, or basically Iranians at the time. He brought with him massive spoils of war, including the treasures of Parthian temples. Unknowingly, however, his troops had picked up another souvenir in West Asia. They were carrying a disease which had been severely impacted East Asia just a few years before.
Man, the world doesn't really change that much. Diseases still all coming out of fucking Asia.
I don't know what it is, dude.
They're sitting there eating that goddamn bat soup and shit. And then if you say anything about it, you're apparently racist. Like, man, I think that they shouldn't be eating those bats over there. It seems like it's a problem. People are like, oh my God, racism, bigotry.
I don't think they had the same concerns back then, TJ. They literally had just overthrown an empire. As the army marched back to Rome,
So I guess that's changed.
Yeah. The disease manifested and spread everywhere they went. First in Asia Minor, then Greece, and finally to Italy itself. The mysterious epidemic spread like wildfire, particularly through the densely populated Roman cities of Italy. The Romans controlled the entire Mediterranean, and as their trading ships and armies busily swarmed across it, so did the disease. For the next 2 decades, the Roman Empire was racked with an outbreak unlike anything they'd ever seen. The disease slowed after 180 CE, but flared up again in 189 before finally setting down.
Yeah, that sucks, because you got like 9 years where you think, like, all right,
That plague went away. Thank
The
goodness.
plague-
it's gone.
The plague
It's back.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, the plague done did its damage. Oh, shit, it's returned.
So why was this named after Galen? What did he do?
Oh, I think we're going to get to that in a second.
Did he spread it?
Yes, G, that's what happened.
Okay.
At the height of this pandemic, TJ, there were fatalities of up to 2,000 people per day, according to Roman sources. In total, about 7 to 10% of the population of the Roman Empire was killed, expanding from Spain and Italy to Greece, Asia Minor, and even Egypt and North Africa. In dense urban centers, fatality rates may have been as high as 15%. Even the emperors may not have been spared. Lucius Verus died in 169 CE, and Marcus Aurelius died in 180 CE. It has been speculated that both deaths were caused by the disease. No one
Where
really
are a
knows.
lot of U.S. troops right now?
Oh, shit, dude.
The Middle East.
Yep. And people keep ignorantly saying we need to bring our troops back home. No,
Nope.
because what else are they bringing with them?
They're on their own
Disease.
now.
Disease.
So now we're going to get to why
You got to live in Iran now. Sorry.
So now we're going to get back to the plague of Galen thing.
Okay.
So obviously, with most ancient, plagues and diseases, pandemics, people are like, what the fuck caused it? What the fuck happened? Obviously, there's no one alive from back then. There's not really much, most accounts were,
Except for Galen.
well, of course, Galen. Either people had been told about it or it was like, a brief mention, like a bunch of people died from this thing and no one really knows what the fuck happened. Not much evidence. So the most definitive account we have of the epidemic comes from the Greek physician Galen, or TJ's friend Galen,
Galenus.
who witnessed multiple outbreaks firsthand. Galen described numerous unpleasant symptoms, but one that stands out is pustules, or boils, which sounds a lot like characteristics of smallpox. Some historians think Galen actually described 2 different strains of the smallpox virus in his notes, which would explain how the disease remained so deadly over a 20-year period. So it's either speculated to be measles or smallpox caused this outbreak for about 20 years in the Roman Empire. And like I said, killing 7 to 10% of the population.
I mean, we could vaccinate against it, but those vaccines, though, they do cause autism.
Yeah, so
Which is way worse. Which is way worse than, 10-15% of the population dying,
Yeah, in urban centers is about 15% of the population.
Did you guys ever get the chicken pox?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're like the last generation that's ever going to have to go through the chicken pox. You realize that?
Doesn't the chicken pox also, set you up for some other disease
Shingles.
later in life?
Shingles, yep.
So we're all going to get fucking shingles, dude.
Gross.
Not
It
kids.
doesn't even sound. I don't even know what that is, but it sounds bad.
I think it's like very similar to like a bad cold.
Ew.
That's what I've heard. You get like some things on your body and you get like aches
get
and
sores.
pains. Yeah, you get sores.
I don't want that.
You might get it now.
Damn it.
And of course, we did a whole episode on this, but we're going to have to obviously briefly
A little
mention.
brief recap.
Yeah. It's the Black Death, TJ.
Yeah, I heard that skeletons were pretty much all but absent in art until the Black Death, and then skeletons became a super popular
I know
artistic
this is a
trope.
horrible event, but this right here looks like a party I'd go to.
Yeah, I mean these skeletons look like they're having a fucking grand old motherfucking
Yeah,
They're
time,
fucking
dude.
living it up.
They're dead, but they're happy. They're happy to be dead. They're like, you know what? All the worries of life are gone. Let's just dance our
They're
fucking...
deading it up, Paul.
Ah.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Bubonic plague.
So the Black Death, which the worst years were between 1346 and 1353. Death toll is estimated between 75 and 200 million. Caused the bubonic plague. Duh, everyone knows that. So from 1346 to 1353, an outbreak of the plague ravaged Europe, Asia, and Africa, with an estimated death toll between 75 and 200 million people. Thought to have originated in Asia. No surprise.
Every fucking time. Come on, man. Even fucking back in 1346, these motherfuckers were causing these outbreaks.
And of course, we know it was believed to be fleas living on rats who jumped aboard merchant ships. Ports, being major urban centers at the time, were the perfect breeding ground for rats and fleas. Thus, the insidious bacterium flourished, devastating 3 continents in its wake.
I mean, at this point in human history, fucking...
Herstory
I'm
might
sorry,
actually be.
herstory. You're right.
Herstory.
I was
Oh,
gonna say
yeah, I like that.
appropriate.
Yeah, herstory.
human herstory. It was basically everywhere you went was just a giant rat cockroach fuck. It was just, they were just teeming in the streets. There were just a huge problem with rats, both in the like livestock and stuff that was being produced, and just in the inner cities.
I heard that they I don't know if this is true or if this is just apocryphal, but I heard that they at one point blamed it on the cats and then killed all the cats.
Yes, the Catholic
and the
Church.
rats got worse.
Which made the rats worse, which made the disease spread more.
They issued a papal bull against cats.
Idiots.
Good job.
There's a reason why those are called papal bull, by the way.
So obviously we did a whole episode on this, but let's talk about the impact for a second.
Okay.
Because this one actually had a very profound impact as far as pandemics are concerned. So the consequence of this violent catastrophe was a cessation of wars and a sudden slump in trade immediately following, but only lasted for a little while, clearly. I mean,
so
when
people were
disease,
like, all right, let's not war for a while. We're dying enough. Let's not trade anymore because it seems like we just need to like keep shit on lockdown.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's hard to keep society and civilization from crumbling under these circumstances. Because
So they must have had some notion of like how it spread to some extent. Like they knew they understood what contagious was.
Well, they thought it was foul air that spread. That was the.
So they thought that
yeah,
okay.
foul
So they
smells.
basically had no idea.
Yeah,
But they
precisely.
at least knew enough to know stay away from people who have the plague.
So a more lasting and serious consequence was the drastic reduction in the amount of land under cultivation. Due to the deaths of so many people who worked on the land. Like, there's just too many people that were laborers who were just dead. They fucking died.
So it causes like immense resource shortages as well.
Yeah.
So even though people are dead and it's like, oh, there should be more resources because there's less mouths to feed.
It's harder
Nope.
times still.
It's still fucking awful because the people who are doing the farming and stuff are now dead.
Yeah, so this proved to be the ruin of many landowners. The shortage of labor compelled them to substitute wages or money rents in place of labor services in an effort to keep their tenants. There were also a general rise in the wages of artisans and peasants. This changes brought a new fluidity, hitherto rigid stratification. Hitherto rigid stratification of society.
So basically, it actually helped with social stratification to some extent.
Yeah,
'cause
peasants
it's like,
got
okay,
more rights and had more. Obviously, they had more bargaining power because there wasn't like, well, we have a bunch of fucking little piss ants that can do this job. It's like, no, about a quarter of them died.
Yeah, so now piss ants are in greater demand. So all of a sudden, you got a little bargaining power, little leverage.
Yeah, which was actually good for them and ultimately led to some definite changes in Europe. Of course, we have to have our anti-Semitism.
Oh yeah, I mean, like the Jews. I mean, really, the Jews probably did it. I mean, let's just be honest.
And unfortunately,
Jews love to go around and just like spread disease and stuff.
As people had no idea, waves of violent, basically, just bedlam occurred, and entire Jewish communities were killed by mobs or burned at the stake in mass. So not really much has changed for the Jews.
How come the Jews always get blamed for shit, man?
And get burned and killed?
Why are they just like always the scapegoat? It's like, we're all, some kind of plague is happening. I bet it was the Jews.
This may be like insensitive to say, but what if it turned out to be true?
Yeah.
Like, what if in the future we figure out that, Jews have been behind everything horrible that's ever happened? They've engineered every war, every market crash.
Oh shit, dude! They're gonna be like,
every pandemic that's happened has been the Jews. What if it's actually true?
do they get like the MIT professor? He does all the fucking math on a chalkboard, and he's like, "Look,
I have definitively proven
answer equals Jews."
the Jews did it.
You have those like 18 chalkboards covered in complex math that makes no sense to us fucking retards, and we're just like, "Oh, what's that? Basically, what does it equal? Jews bad." Maybe. I don't know.
You think they'd be able to protect themselves a little better from just getting like murdered and persecuted and stuff then?
No,
Nah.
they look, dude, they benefited from that. They allowed the Holocaust to happen because they knew it would give them infinite victim status forever.
They're like, look, we got to go through some tough times,
People
but
are going to be
afterwards-
extra tolerant to the Jews after so many Jews are killed. See what I mean?
Yeah.
And what did they get out of it? Their own fucking country.
Yeah.
Every prominent fucking CEO ship in the world.
That's a little bit of an exaggeration.
Control over the entire entertainment industry.
Yeah.
the news
all
media,
yeah.
all banks. I mean, everything, dude. They run this country.
The Jews run the world.
So next image, please, TJ. Let's see this painting. See this fucking painting, dude.
Painting.
You know what this is called, TJ?
No.
The
I don't.
Triumph of Death.
Yeah, okay, I could see that.
It looks like he's winning.
Yeah.
I mean, Death's fucking kicking ass.
you definitely look at this and you're like, okay, yeah. Death's doing pretty good there.
Yeah, death is fucking gathering up supplies. There's a bunch of fucking skulls. They got
The triumph of death.
They got a few people alive, and they're kind of like, I'm gonna fight death, but not doing too good.
Be a pretty good grindcore band name too. My mind's still on that a little bit.
The triumph of death.
And of course, we had a cultural preoccupation of the afterlife and death. I mean, people thought extensively, like, what's going to happen when we die? That's why you see the skeletons dancing. You see those etchings and those engravings where it's all just about death. It's all about, life and death and the fact that you're going to have an afterlife, because obviously you see there, and even in the midst of this, you see the cross. Like, even in the other one, you saw it in Rome, the one with the Antonian plague or Galen's plague. There was the cross in the background. It's like, this is the only thing that's going to fucking give you eternal life. This is the only thing.
Well, if you look over on the left, too, there's another cross, and it's a bunch of living people. No, those are skeletons. Never mind. I thought those were actual priests standing there, but no, those are actually dead priests.
Yeah, they're dead.
Even the priests die.
They got fucked up, man. So, but if you guys want to know more about this subject, there's an entire episode we did about it, which I recommend to you guys.
Okay.
Now, this is TJ. Yeah, Doc.
Looks like some kind of medical triage sort of unit.
It's a sanitarium.
I'm assuming these people have.
This is an emergency hospital created for the Spanish flu, TJ.
Okay.
So
I think China is actually building some of these right now.
They are, actually. Well, you have to, because there's something. Look, the hospitals in China are just completely overrun.
The hospital infrastructure just can't handle it.
Not at all. So don't blame the Spanish.
Well, it's called the Spanish flu.
It's called the Spanish flu for a reason, and many people
because the Jews.
Many people
blamed
falsely
the Spanish.
think, oh, well, it came from Spain. That's why you call it the Spanish flu, right? So the absolute worst flu pandemic in recent.
I actually know why the Spanish flu got the name Spanish. All right, maybe you have a different reason because sometimes there's disagreement on this. But what I heard was that they were the only country that didn't hide their death toll.
That's essentially it, yeah.
So it seemed like they were more affected when actually they were just the only ones who were being honest about how many people were dying.
And reporting about it, because obviously this was during World War I.
Yeah, this looks like a miserable place
this
to be.
occurred in 1918. So somewhere between 20 and 50 million people died from the Spanish flu. More than the number of people who died during World War I. But don't blame the Spanish. In fact, the virus was likely spread by U.S. soldiers. Soldiers.
What do you do?
I'm a soldier. I go kill people.
Soldiers shipped off to fight in World War I. Their first recorded case of the flu came March 11th, 1918, at Fort Riley, Kansas.
Finally, one that Asia didn't start. Well, where were they fighting in Asia, though?
They're fighting in Europe.
Okay.
So you have to like that. I like that about this one. This one actually came from America. You have a bunch of Americans going like, this damn Spanish.
Goddamn Spain.
Within a week, the virus had made the rounds through the unsanitary military bases. 522 men reported to the camp infirmary, and all suffering from the same illness. The flu moved on from there, primarily through European military channels, popping up all over the southern eastern seaboard in California and other states throughout the Union, infecting 28% of Americans.
Damn.
Yeah, so this was not like, pretty much everyone knows someone that got
So this is pretty much like a quarter of the country is just sick with this.
Yeah, military transport ships then became floating petri dishes, incubating the disease, and then releasing it on arrival in France.
Ugh.
So it's kind of like, almost like how the zombie apocalypse or whatever, the horrible disease spreads. Like, you go over here, you just make it worse, and you just get to more fucking people. From there, the flu ravaged the rest of Europe, already in a week and stayed after years of devastating wars. Obviously, they don't have the best infrastructure and means to deal with a fucking pandemic.
So what does it actually do to you?
It's just a really bad case of the flu. And this particular strain of the flu was terrifying. Sufferers often succumbed to total respiration failure within hours, essentially suffocating to death in the fluid that filled in their lungs. So it's basically the flu on fucking steroids, dude.
Cool.
Dude, I think there's one dude in this picture that's faking it.
Which one?
Second row from the bottom, right towards the middle. He's got both his he's kicked back.
Yeah, I see who you're talking about.
He's like, this is the life.
He's like,
Pretend I've got the flu, I did. Got myself a nice warm bed, bunch of new friends, 2 hots and a cot. I got a pretty nurse that comes by and bobbles me jingles every once in a while. This is the life right here. Spanish flu is what I've got.
yeah,
Look at him.
Yeah, I mean, he looks pretty relaxed.
Yeah, Spanish flu, whatever.
He's just like, yeah.
Now, one of the things that was different about that was was also puzzling where most flu strains affect the weakest members of the population. So you're talking about young children, the elderly, people like that, people who are in poor health. This flu largely affected healthy young people.
Damn.
The fact that a war was also on contributed to the rapid spread of the virus, in part due to the fact that affected countries didn't have really acknowledged the pandemic. It was like, there's no pandemic going on.
So they were like, we're too busy fighting a war. This is going to have to wait till later. We're not even going to acknowledge this.
Well, you don't want to look weak. You don't look like our country's ravaged with disease.
Those are the people that were doing all the fucking traveling and shit, too. Healthy young people.
So, TJ, to speak to your point, the Spanish flu got its name from the fact that Spanish papers were the first ones to report that millions of their people were dying from the flu. Other countries on both sides of the Allied and Central Power lines, and those similarly affected by the virus, kept mum for fear of revealing the weaknesses to the enemy. So they didn't really admit it because they're like, you know what, we're at war. We can't have that sort of fucking risk. Of course, also the fact that because they're at war, they don't have sufficient medical care, and many trained doctors and nurses had already gone to the front.
So I looked it up. I was curious about what percentage of people who contracted this died, and it said about 10 to 20%.
No, I've actually read differently.
Okay.
So I mean that could be in dispute as well. What
did you read?
2.5%, but it affected 500 million people. Waves of the virus broke on U.S. shores, each time killing more and more people and prompting drastic measures. In Philadelphia, according to the contemporary New York Times article, courts were adjourned, theaters were closed, churches asked to suspend services, football games canceled, even the sale of liquor prohibited.
Boo.
That's crazy. How could they do that? Our country would never do that. But other communities were less stringent in their attempts to curtail the illness, and more people died. Well, of course, if you don't make any attempt to stop it, more people are going to get it and die.
Freedom. Price of freedom.
So after spending several long months exhausting the population, the virus disappeared before it could even be isolated. It's since been identified as, quote, pure avian virus, meaning that it adapted from bird-based illness to possess the necessary features for easy human-to-human transmission.
Which is when shit really kicks off.
Yeah, when other people can spread that fucking disease amongst themselves, yeah, it's fucking game over.
Another fucking group on this planet that's been trying to kill humanity forever, these fucking birds. Nobody ever wants to talk about that shit, but how many of these fucking diseases start with them? Droppings.
We just need to kill all the animals.
Just kill every other animal.
We're working on it then.
You know who this is, TJ?
This is Mr. Peanut?
This is Mr. Peanut in the womb, dude.
Oh, cool.
Obviously, they killed him, so they're going to bring him back, dude.
Well, he looks dead here. I assume this was the decomposing corpse of Mr. Peanut seen through infrared.
This is the new one, dude. He's just about to split.
Oh, schwit.
Schwit?
Schwit. Just about to split. Oh, schwit.
This is the coronavirus, TJ, or viruses, but obviously this is the coronavirus.
Oh.
So what is a coronavirus, TJ? Do you know? You got any idea what the fuck it is? A lot of people talk about it like they know.
Yeah, it's like it's a virus that's spread around in that terrible Corona beer.
That is actually correct, TJ. It actually is spread from people who purchase Corona beers. No, TJ.
I think that beer is a virus unto itself.
No, TJ.
Though.
Obviously, you don't know shit. You've talked a lot about this, TJ. I think you've had several...
I haven't really talked a lot about it.
You've had several lectures on this, TJ.
Oh, okay.
I attended one. Don't lie. So what is coronavirus, TJ? Coronaviruses are a family of viruses known for containing strains that can cause potentially deadly diseases in mammals and birds. The birds, dude.
Yeah, the fucking birds, man.
Paul was right, dude. In humans, they're typically spread via airborne droplets of fluid produced by infected individuals, such as people like TJ.
Yeah.
So how long do you think these things go back, TJ? Like a few years? Like this is just something new?
I mean, if it's a whole category of viruses, I assume it's like, I don't know, 100 years, something like that.
No. So first described in detail in the 60s. I mean, it could have
been around before.
Of course,
then.
it could have been. We don't know for certain. The coronavirus gets its name from a distinctive corona or crown of sugary proteins that project from the envelope surrounding the particle. Encoding the virus's makeup is the longest genome of any RNA-based virus, a single strand of nucleic acid roughly 26,000 to 32,000 bases long.
Shit.
Prior to the SARS-CoV coronavirus outbreak, coronaviruses were thought to only cause mild, self-limiting respiratory infections in humans. So just very minor little infection. Not too dangerous. But some rare but notable strains, including the Wuhan coronavirus, which is called the 2019 NCOV.
They need to come up with a better name.
And it's actually now called the novel coronavirus.
Oh, okay.
And those responsible for severe acute respiratory syndrome, of course, SARS, and Middle East respiratory syndrome, MERS, can cause death in humans.
Hey, did you guys see the other day when coronavirus was trending on Twitter, but they spelled it wrong? Like
No.
it was literally a misspelling was trending. It was corona raw virus.
Coronavirus.
They
Coronavirus.
They added another RA to it. Corona raw.
Coronavirus.
Oh no, I hope I don't get the coronavirus.
Oh, dude. Oh, man. That's fucking racist, TJ. We're a bunch of
That's why I don't leave my house.
So this is the crown, right?
I'm not trying to catch the fucking coronavirus.
Look at those little proteins. It's got its little crown.
So they call this a crown. They look like little sea urchins to me.
That's what Taylor called them, too, but that's what they call them, crowns.
I'd have called them urchins.
So there are four known genuses in the family: the alpha, beta, gamma, and delta coronavirus, which obviously TJ would be a beta coronavirus.
Beta.
The first two only infect mammals, including bats, pigs, cats, and humans. The gamma coronavirus mostly affects birds, such as poultry, while the delta coronavirus can infect both birds and mammals.
Man, it's all up in this shit.
Dude, it's all over the place, dude.
Fucking piece of shit.
Let's look at SARS, TJ.
Yeah, I remember SARS.
Beautiful.
I remember when this was going to kill us all.
Yeah, this is the last one. Everyone's like, it's gonna fucking.
Oh my
take us
god!
out.
Well, I think you're forgetting the Ebola thing because there was that big Ebola scare too.
Well, I'm actually scared of the.
I think Ebola was more scary because just like how you die from it, because you basically just like don't you just like shit your guts out basically?
You just bleed out.
You bleed out from every orifice of your body.
Yeah, you just bleed from everywhere.
Yep.
You just bleed bloody chunks of viscera out your ass until you fucking croak.
Dude, and even surviving it is a nightmare. Like, people, like, anyone in the audience, go read accounts of people that have survived Ebola, and it's almost just as bad as fucking dying from it, truly.
Ugh, gross.
So SARS was first recognized as a distinct strain of the coronavirus in 2003. So the source of the virus has never been 100% clear, but...
I'm sorry.
Oh, shit, dude.
Sorry, I coughed there.
But they have, but I believe that's actually, well, that information actually is not correct because later on we actually find out they discovered this. I guess when this was written, that was not correct. There's actually
outdated information.
Yep, there actually was. So we had to let's just strike that off. So,
outdated information. Scotty
virus,
don't know what he's talking about.
The virus then became a pandemic, causing more than 8,000 infections of an influenza-like disease in 26 countries and close to 800 deaths. So this is actually before the coronavirus. This version of the coronavirus came out. There's actually a video called The Lasting Effects of SARS in Hong Kong. And this is a fucking crazy video for what the guy ends up saying in it.
Okay. Let me get that ready to go.
It's in the...
yeah, I see it.
You see it.
I got it. All right, let's check it out.
This is some prescient shit right here. But, I mean, people kind of know pandemics are going to come and go.
I predict bad things will happen.
It started like a regular cold for Mr. Lee in the spring of 2003. But soon, he was experiencing severe...
You got him the fucking SARS.
I heard there was an invasive disease.
Yeah, so I can read this for people that don't speak
But I was kept
Chinese.
together with a group of infected intern doctors from Prince of Wales Hospital.
He spent 2 months in that coma. And with an influx of patients experiencing similar symptoms, scientists at Hong Kong's universities worked round the clock to identify what was causing it and how to treat it.
The difficulty is you don't know what you are treating at that time. All right? The patient having fever and the pneumonia, and we haven't found anything at that time. So everybody is very anxious.
This guy, by the way, it doesn't mention it for some reason, but this is one of the guys that discovered SARS. I don't know why they didn't mention that because his name popped up a bunch when I was researching it, but this guy...
Professor Yoon Kwok Yoon.
Yep. Influential in discovering what SARS was.
Trying to find what is going on wrong with the patients.
The disease was eventually called SARS, Severe Acute Respiratory Syndrome, a virus that first spread in densely populated animal markets in southern China.
Seems kind of
getting a little deja vu, man. I don't know.
These wet markets are what they're called. But yeah, we're gonna talk about them more in a little bit.
And these fucking libertarians around America like, oh man, we should fucking fuck the FDA, dude.
We don't.
Why do we need that bullshit to tell us what we're allowed to eat?
This is why.
Here's why, stupid fuck. And And they're like, oh, we don't need to pasteurize our milk or whatever. Man, fuck you. Yes, you do.
That's like just saying, like, kill me now. Maybe we should just let them. They can have their little fucking leper
No,
colony
because
of
they
disease.
they contract it and then they come back to society when they need help.
No,
They're
I'm
like,
saying-
oh, please
no,
save us.
We quarantine them, dude.
And then they cough on you, and then the next thing you know, your fucking eyes are blistering.
No.
Fucking bloody viscera
Remember that
trail
movie?
coming out of your dickhead. I mean, it's like fucking, you don't need this shit.
Remember that movie Doomsday?
Yeah.
No, we build the fucking...
Wait, why would I remember that movie, Doomsday? That's a terrible movie.
Yeah, but remember that wall they had in that movie?
Yeah.
We build that fucking wall, dude. Fucking automated turrets. They fucking try to come to the wall, they're fucking dead.
Send them to
Real
China.
women vote for Trump.
Let them go live the dream in China.
Yeah.
They want like a hyper-capitalistic, zero-regulation state. Go live in China.
Go fucking open your little
Revoke them
Wei-Hun
passports.
market.
You can't come back. Go over there. You're Chinese,
now. Get over there.
In the spring of 2003, it was brought to Hong Kong by a visiting doctor, and within weeks, it spread throughout the city.
Damn it.
當時嚟講咧，即係淘大花園根本係一個死城一樣嘅，冇晒人。
So basically saying the apartment complex he lived in was deserted, shops
咁
were
所以咧
open,
就
and a lot of people just wouldn't come
好
out.
多人都唔夠。
Which is what's happening again now. So it's the same
Amoy
fucking
Gardens
shit.
private housing estate in Kowloon was one of the black spots for disease transmission.
成個期間咧，我哋
During the whole period, around 300
300
people from here got infected.
受到感染。
So just a tenement building that
The feeling was very bad. Why? Because the government wouldn't tell us the source of the disease.
冇話俾我聽。
Yeah, it was just a mysterious disease that that a ton of people were getting infected with and dying from.
And Sky, didn't you tell me these stupid masks they all wear just don't do shit?
Yeah, I was actually about to bring that up. So these masks, they've actually seen the efficacy of them. Number one is it can also enter through your eyes.
So
problem.
you need an eye
You need to get
mask,
some goggles.
Yeah, so the masks also are usually they're not fitting, they don't fit properly on your face. So those
too. So
ones,
this is still just getting through the sides.
they can see, yeah. So number two, what you need to actually do is get a full respirator, and you need to cover your eyes. So these work better in a clinical setting, which is like a hospital or something. That they're way more effective.
So basically,
in that
just go
environment.
get yourself a Darth Vader suit.
But these have
and
been
then you'll be safe.
mandated. These have been mandated throughout China. The virus itself is so small though that these masks, I think they can.
It just goes right through, huh?
Yeah, it can filter it out between the particles. It's like they're tiny particles. It's like 0.003 nanometers or whatever,
Right.
whatever that is, and like it's 0.001. So it's
So
still,
that mask is not even really even just the like even if the mask fits well and your eyes are protected, it can still just go right through the fucking thing.
it's a better measure to take than nothing at all.
So it's slightly better than nothing, but basically useless.
Yeah,
Yes.
virus might bounce off
Yeah,
of your
maybe
mask.
maybe you get lucky.
Maybe it'll get caught in a little fiber or thread there.
Exactly.
就嗰個來源係點樣啊？同埋嗰啲
And people that got admitted to the hospital, their condition was very bad.
咧就好差。
Of course, the healthcare system was overwhelmed.
咁啊，好多人咧都
Many people had severe fever and went to the ICU.
ICU
So ICU is the same for some reason.
In total, over 1,700 people in Hong Kong were infected, and nearly 300 people
I just
died.
want to point out that this new coronavirus, I think it's how many people have been infected so far? It's already competitive with SARS, right?
I think
And it
more.
it took a while for SARS to get to that point. This one seems like it spreads a little easier.
I think, if my research is correct, I think more people are infected with their novel coronavirus.
I mean,
SARS.
obviously, I guess they're calling it novel coronavirus now.
Yes. Or the Wuhan.
Wuhan coronavirus. Let me see what the fucking current stats are here. There's got to be
I pulled
updates.
some as of last night.
Oh, okay.
I don't trust these stats either.
Oh no,
I think if these stats are
these
what
are the
they
ones
are,
that are actually confirmed.
right? I think
So-
China probably knows that this is way worse.
Oh, almost certainly. I think. I mean, even honestly, being totally fair to them, I don't think you could even know the devastation these things cause until afterwards. So can you continue playing, TJ?
Yeah.
died. Many of the survivors still suffer from SARS long-term effects. Mr. Lee hasn't been able to work since he got ill.
A month after I got home from the hospital, I started learning to walk again,
去學行路，恢復我自己嘅
to
體能。
regain my energy.
咁體能之後
I got my
咧
energy back,
突
but
然
suddenly
間
my
又發現
bones started
骨
to
枯
deteriorate. My mood
所以
became very low again.
嗰個情緒好高漲，崩潰，精神崩潰。
In the years after SARS, the Hong Kong government has taken extensive measures to promote public hygiene, hoping to avert the next pandemic. But Professor Yoon says it's only a matter of time.
This is horrible because it's acute, and also the mortality is around 10%. It will come back if you open up all the wildlife markets in China again. And
so this is a year before, and a year and more before the coronavirus outbreak, the novel coronavirus outbreak.
God damn it. Is he racist? Is this guy racist against Chinese people for saying they shouldn't be eating bats and shit? Let's scoop a bunch of bat guts out, put it in a fucking soup, and eat it.
He's from the epicenter of the SARS outbreak, so I don't think that's much of an
Obviously
argument.
racist against the Chinese for daring to say such a controversial statement as that.
Just the stupidity of this, that it just keeps happening and that they know.
Yeah, the leading scientists of this region are saying, it's a matter of time.
It doesn't just punish their country.
Why don't we
it just
just
ends up spreading all over the fucking planet?
Why do we even fucking have scientists? I just don't, like, if we're never going to listen to what they say, if we're never going to fucking just accept an uncomfortable reality, then why do we even bother? Let's just go round up all the scientists and fucking shoot them. That's because that's about all their opinion is worth, apparently, to the American people, the Chinese people.
Isn't it better
and
to
the peoples across the fucking globe?
Isn't it better to keep them around and then just ignore them?
Yeah, I guess so.
Unless you need them, because suddenly then when there's disease ravaging in the city, then let's listen to them.
CO2 levels are fucking off the charts. It looks like the ice caps are going to melt and everyone's going to die and stuff. Oceans are becoming too toxic, can't support life. The entire food chain is going to collapse. Whatever. Folks. Oh, look, new fucking super hot Cheetos.
Yeah. Oh, God. Don't even get me started. I'm ready for a new super hot Cheeto.
I thought you said you didn't like the ones that were extra hot.
I didn't.
You changed your mind?
I don't like those. I think they could do better.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Damn.
So it's not that they're too hot. It's just they've sacrificed too much.
Paul's throwing on the fat guy gauntlet. He's like, you know what? No, they did it too hot.
They could do better.
Well, you know what? You want something that has that right level of fucking heat.
Yeah, it wasn't like they
time.
weren't hot enough. They just got I felt like they just got way saltier.
No.
Too salty for Paul.
Man, you gotta put some actual heat on them things.
Let's hear the rest from this.
You want to hear the rest here?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can see that things always repeat itself. If it comes many years later, all the vigilance will be gone.
Yep.
And the effect is much bigger. All the measures that we are now taking would be so downgraded that when it comes, we will not be able to handle it because of the loss of vigilance. But if it comes earlier, then it's usually easier because now we, at least in the public health sector, we are still very concerned about emerging infectious diseases.
In this case, vigilance would just be monitoring the actual markets and shutting down markets and enforcing a fucking, a sensible health rule against selling the type of animals and the conditions that allow these viruses to spring out. And they just won't do it.
Yeah, I think that's basically what he's saying. It's like, look, when these pandemics, are in full swing and people really are they're being super vigilant. We're looking at this disease and saying, shit, this can happen anytime. Like you're saying, they're not willing to take the appropriate measures. And unfortunately, only a year and fucking 6 months later, whatever it is, his predictions are not even predictions.
China needs to be sanctioned for this
obvious.
shit. They're literally, it's proven that they're just like a giant vector of disease now. They're exporting it all over the fucking country, all over the world.
Look at this fucking shit.
Delicious bat soup.
Look at this fucking garbage. Like a fucking hollowed out goddamn bat.
We'll make some bat gut soup.
It's fucking looking at you with its fucking razor ass fangs. Like it looks like something that bears you fucking ill will. Just sitting there in your fucking soup. Like, how appetizing, man. Yum.
Bat dung soup, my favorite.
Oh, yeah, goddamn. Give me some of that. Give me some of that. Fucking idiots.
So, Bat Cave solves mystery of deadly.
Oh, by the way, it reminds me that Trump fucking relaxed all these regulations against pork in the U.S., And now, it allows for, way more, feces and fucking other nasty shit to be in pork products, so...
Great.
Ain't we're fucking doing much better over here.
No. Gotta deregulate the race to the bottom, TJ.
Well, the corporations can make more money if we let them put pig shit in your pork.
Yum.
I think it's ridiculous that we can't have a little more duty in our meat. I mean, come on.
So after a detective hunt across China, researchers chasing the origin of the deadly SARS virus have finally found their smoking gun. In a remote cave in Yunnan province, virologists have identified a single population of horseshoe bats that harbors the virus strains with all the genetic building blocks of the one that jumped to humans in 2002, killing almost 800 people around the world. That's the main part I wanted to read. Because, I mean, obviously you can get some more into it. It's basically them just going across the country and just doing all the
Wait a minute.
research.
So, wait. Bats cause it, and then they eat bats in China.
Well, you know what,
where
SARS...
The new one...
SARS would basically... this is what they believe happened. The bats transmitted the disease to something called civets, which is like a cat-like...
It says right here, bats are global reservoir for deadly coronaviruses. So these things are just like, they love... The coronavirus is just fucking... It's strong with them.
Nuke the bats.
we're gonna talk about, dude. Bats harbor, they fucking harbor a ton of viruses. We're gonna talk about that a little bit later. But yeah, so that was just what I wanted to point out to people and show them.
Like, I ain't got nothing against bats out there existing in nature because they don't fuck with me. I ain't never had no bat fuck with me. But I don't go around eating them motherfuckers.
I mean, I've
either.
had a bat like swoop down and fly pretty close to me before.
Yeah, I mean, like around dusk around here, I mean, I see a shit ton of bats flying around. They like to, I don't know, they have some kind of nest somewhere nearby. I see them flying around, you know, and they're cool, whatever.
They're in your chimney, TJ.
Maybe
Pooping their fucking infected guano into your house.
Yeah,
is
maybe
just-
maybe it's gonna be I'm gonna be ground zero for fucking the
Sal's gonna go eat that shit. and then
American
lick you all over your
coronavirus.
face.
Yep.
Next thing I know, we already saw that. Oh, there's that fucker.
So we're going to talk very briefly about
Cheeky
MERS.
fucker.
So the Middle East Respiratory Syndrome. MERS was first identified in Saudi Arabia in 2012. Oh, shit.
Was it bat related too?
I'm not really sure about this one.
Okay.
And people displaying symptoms of fever, cough, shortness of breath, and occasionally gastrointestinal problems such as that's a weird way to spell diarrhea. An animal source for the virus has never been officially confirmed, although evidence points to dromedary camels as potential reservoirs of infection. So maybe camels?
Bats and fucking camels.
The World Health Organization has identified around 2,500 cases of infection in 27 countries since initial outbreaks, resulting in nearly 860 deaths.
And that one has a high kill rate. Doesn't seem like it spreads that easy though.
No. Now we're going to go to the new virus on the block, TJ.
Oh,
go back.
Yeah. Too far?
Yep, here we go. The
Here he
good
is.
old coronavirus, dude. Mm-hmm. So, in December 2019, a pneumonia outbreak was reported in Wuhan, China. On the 31st of December 2019, the outbreak was traced to a novel strain of coronavirus, which was labeled as 2019 nCoV by the World Health Organization. According to Daniel Lucy at Georgetown University, the first human infections must have occurred in November 2019 and maybe earlier. As of January 30th, 2020, so this might have been updated since then, China says the death toll has hit 213 people, and the confirmed cases has risen to 9,692, so already surpassing SARS.
And there's tons of people out there who have stated that China is
Vast
suppressing and underreporting these numbers.
Very possible.
I've heard stories, and, you know, once again, you don't want to fucking go too far down the rabbit hole of stories and shit.
Oh, Chief,
but,
we're going to talk about the conspiracies.
but I have heard of people in China being basically turned away from hospitals and sent home.
Well,
I mean,
they're
I don't know why it's such a
not
conspiracy
tested.
theory. Like, why do people put this above governments when we have proof that they've done this in the past, like with the Spanish flu and shit?
I'm
They're
not
just underreporting to stop people from panicking, underreporting to stop, other countries from thinking that they're weakened.
Of course, they don't
Yeah,
want.
but I mean, look, we know the measures that China has taken.
They're extreme measures.
I mean, I think, like, what is it now? 35 million people under quarantine, something like that.
35. I've heard between 35 and 50 million people.
Right. So there's tons of cities that are basically on total lockdown. They've canceled a bunch of
Other
events
countries,
and festivals.
Other countries are not even allowing travel and flights from China.
Half the Starbucks locations in the countries have closed, which is a tremendous number because there's 4,300 Starbucks and
too late.
2,000 have closed.
It's already here. It's already escaped.
So the Wuhan strain has been identified as a new strain of beta coronavirus. So good job, TJ.
Thanks.
From Group 2B, with 70%.
Or not to be.
Oh, with 70% genetic similarity to the SARS coronavirus.
So it's basically like mega SARS.
yeah, if the virus has evolved, then
Super SARS coming your way.
There you go. SARS 2.0 is here.
Well, I'm heartened by the fact that when we get this under control, about 10 years from now, an even stronger one's going to happen in the same spot in China.
Yeah, as long as there's wet markets. Go back to the bats again, TJ. So, bats again. The virus was suspected to have originated in snakes, but many leading researchers disagree with this conclusion. Daniel Lucy, an infectious disease specialist at Georgetown University, stated, "Now it seems clear that the seafood market, or the wet markets, is not the only origin of the virus. As the new coronavirus spreads across the globe, scientists are working to understand where it came from. In the early stages of the outbreak, the prevailing theory was held that the virus came from a Chinese wet market." Mm-hmm. And obviously, next image, this actually shows an image of a Chinese wet market. As you can see, totally sanitary.
Yeah.
I mean, look right there.
Dude, I've got a dare for you, TJ.
Okay.
Let's all go to Wuhan, China.
Okay.
And go to the most gross wet market we can find.
Uh-huh.
And have let's have food tastings at every stall.
Ooh.
And see which one of us taps out first.
I tap out from going to Wuhan, China.
I don't think can we even get in right now?
We can't. We actually cannot.
These markets are pretty much all
you want to get into
down
Wuhan
right now, right?
You want to get into Wuhan, I know people.
Look, TJ.
Okay? I know people that can get
They don't want you
into
to know
Wuhan.
what's going on in Wuhan, TJ.
Even if we could get there, I'm pretty sure all these markets are not open currently.
Dude,
That's what you think.
It's a paradise there right now, TJ. They just don't want people to go.
People still got to eat, TJ. They're just not reporting on them. I could have you at a Wuhan wet market by this time tomorrow, TJ.
All right, well, let's do it. We'll talk after the show.
I'm sure you guys will. These marketplaces sell living animals along with meat and produce, and often feature creatures caught in the wild. But experts now say the Wuhan coronavirus true origin story is likely more complex and are encouraging a broader search for the disease's source. So sequencing the disease's genome and comparing it to other strains of the coronavirus, such as SARS and MERS, and even diseases that only affect non-human animals, have led to a solid lead. It looks like it may be somewhat similar to a bat coronavirus.
Damn.
Oh, man, the bats
Fucking
right
bats
again.
again?
Bats are believed to have been the source of both SARS and MERS. This is a quote about bats.
Well, earlier it said MERS, they thought it was camels. So apparently this article disagrees and said that bats cause MERS, too.
There's not a scientific consensus.
It said that camels could be reservoirs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
dromedary camels.
They have
probably fucking the bats.
They have an unusual immune system that can tolerate many different viruses without harm,
which makes them ideal carriers of a bunch of diseases,
including rabies and coronaviruses. Says Gregory Gray, an infectious disease epidemiologist at Duke. Epidemiologist at Duke University. And their ability to fly, he adds, brings them into contact with lots of other animals, which increase the likelihood a disease will evolve and spread.
Cool. I dig it.
You gotta
kill
love
the
it.
bats.
Kill the
camels.
fucking bats.
What's going on here?
How many people will it kill, TJ?
This is them wondering how many people it's gonna how many it's gonna kill.
And what can we do to stop it?
All right.
No one knows, dude.
Cool.
So the fatality rate for a virus, the proportion of affected people who die, is difficult to calculate in the middle of an outbreak because records on new cases and deaths are constantly being updated. With 213 deaths so far out of nearly 10,000 infections, the new coronavirus has a death rate of 2 to 3%. This is significantly lower than SARS, which killed around 10% of the people it infected.
Okay.
The known death rate for the new coronavirus is likely to decrease as mild and asymptomatic cases are identified. So it might become lower. It could stay around this area, but what can we do about it, TJ?
It seems like SARS obviously has a higher death rate.
It does.
They say that outright. But, the fact that there's so many more cases of this than there ever were of SARS, it took, during the entirety of the SARS outbreak, it was 8,000 cases or something like that, right?
Correct.
At least officially. Now we have at least 10,000, a number that there's a strong possibility that number's being underreported.
So how do we treat it, TJ? Here's a good question.
I'm just saying this. This disease is still pretty new. This only started in fucking December, and this could continue on for God knows how long. So how many people are going to get infected? 100,000,
millions,
fucking, 1 million, 2 million, everybody. Who fucking knows?
But TJ, just to help you sleep a little bit better, we have no treatment.
Cool.
There are currently no effective drugs against the virus. 2 HIV drugs thought to target a protein that helps coronaviruses to replicate are being tested as a treatment.
Tested, huh?
So as of that, scientists have also identified existing medications that target this function, and several international research groups are working on a vaccine. But right now, we have shit all.
We don't have shit.
There is nothing that, if you get this, they can only treat the symptoms. They cannot treat the actual disease.
They just rehydrate you and try and treat the fluid on your lungs and the fever. Try and bring that down, but they can't kill the virus.
No. The number of deaths will also depend on how China's health system copes with the high number of cases. Putting people on drips and ventilators can ensure they get enough fluids and oxygen where their body's immune systems fight the virus. China, as you mentioned earlier, is building 2 new hospitals in Wuhan to accommodate the people infected. But if the virus spreads to parts of the world with fewer resources, such as Africa, other third world countries, their healthcare system is really going to struggle.
So China at least has a healthcare system. A lot of the countries you're talking about don't even really have. I mean, they might have some doctors here and there, but they don't have a healthcare system.
Well, the World Health Organization's their main concern, and the president of this director general says his main concern with the outbreak is that it could spread to countries with fragile health systems. So basically, countries with very almost non-existent healthcare systems.
So real no infrastructure, no sort of like strong ability of the government to do quarantines and stuff like that, and then it just spreads like wildfire because there's nothing stopping it.
So if it spreads throughout the world, so if it eventually does reach these countries with so-called fragile healthcare systems, the current death rate of 2 or 3%, well, not as quite as high as SARS, is still quite high for an infectious disease. So there's still concern. So for give you an example, we talked about earlier, the 1918 influenza outbreak, of course known as the Spanish flu, infected around 500 million people, 1/3 of the world's population at the time, and killed more than 2.5% of those infected, an estimated 50 million people. So having a 2% kill rate, I mean, yeah, it might sound like, oh, it's not that bad. But if you have 100 billion people, not 100 billion, if you have 500 million or 1 billion people or 2 billion people infected and it kills 1% of them,
millions of dead.
Millions of fucking people are dead. Dude. Let's look at the death toll so far, TJ.
Death. Total death toll over time of the coronavirus. So you see here, for a while, it was just one dude.
Poor one guy.
He's just like, for a while, he was the only guy.
I knew I shouldn't have gotten that bat soup.
I noticed that this graph seems like it's trending a little bit.
The direction that it's heading is definitely worrisome.
I mean, like, because it starts real slow. I mean, obviously, a death toll is only going to go up. No one's going to undie. But I just noticed that the trajectory seems like it's really, like, increasing as it goes. It's like, this it looks like these numbers of like, okay, now it's jumping more, it's jump. And I mean, like, we went from like literally like, okay, it took one person died and it took like a week or more for there to be another casualty. And then there was 2 and 4 and 6, 17, 25, 41. So we went from like, it basically doubled from 25 to 41. And then it went to 55. Looks like it slowed down for a minute there, and then it just rockets up from 56 to 82, from 82 to 106, from 106 to 133, from 133 to 170, from 170 to 213. So obviously, this motherfucker is spreading.
Yeah.
I mean, like, just the fact that we've seen it already fucking dwarf, I mean, maybe not dwarf, but it's already surpassed the SARS epidemic. And like, how long did it take SARS to spread that far? It took a lot longer than a month.
Yeah, it was months and months of SARS.
Well, what's crazy about this, and I think to keep perspective on this, just take the influenza virus. Last year resulted in between 9 million and 45 million illnesses, between 140,000 and 810,000 hospitalizations, and between 12 and 61,000 deaths annually since 2010. So, I mean, while this is bad, right now, I think we have to keep it in perspective that people are acting like this is the end of the world.
The flu ain't got no 2% fucking death rate, though.
Well, the flu has been bad in a number of recent years, and obviously now you have this going on. So, obviously, if this spreads...
What's this?
I think it's important because people, they hear about these new viruses and like, oh, it's going to fucking... The pandemic's going to happen. But really, I mean, even if you look at the flu is killing more people right now than coronavirus. Now, hey... Maybe the novel coronavirus becomes worse. We never know.
Well, wait a minute. Listen to this.
Well, TJ, here you go, dude.
Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and others predicted up to 65 million deaths via coronavirus in simulation ran 3 months ago.
TJ, I felt at the end of the episode,
The elites are culling us, dude.
with all the bad news, I find it useful and comforting to know the scammers of the world are still at it.
Cool.
Even in the face of a pandemic, they have a job to do, and they get it done.
Yeah, look at that. Oh, shit.
So, of course, Alex Jones is reporting on this event that occurred, TJ.
The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation co-hosted a pandemic exercise in late 2019 that simulated a global coronavirus outbreak. They also just happened to fund the group who owns the patent to the deadly virus and are working on a vaccine
patent?
to solve the crisis. Yeah, you can patent genetic material now, thanks to our wonderful system. On June 19th, 2015, the UK government-funded Purebright Institute filed an application for a patent. So you know what? It wasn't bats. It wasn't Jews. It was Bill Gates. Bill Gates fucking snuck into a Wahoon market or whatever the fuck with a vial full of goddamn...
And broke the vial.
Yeah. No, I think he just injected it in in a slab of meat. You know, he just fucking walked in there with Melinda.
He's
real
drizzled it
fucking
on the
covert
bats.
like, wearing a goddamn, trench coat, pulls the vial out, sticks it into some meat, injects it, pockets it back, walks out.
You know what? Bullshit.
Bam.
I don't agree with that, dude. Bill Gates had his little pet bat. He's like, the time has come. You'll be most useful in my plan. He injects the fucking bat with the virus. It fucking flies out, goes to the fucking...
Go forth, Mortimer.
Yeah, the fucking goes to the Wuhan fucking wet market, lands, lets the fucking bat. One of the guys like, oh, that bat, kills the bat, serves it up to somebody. Patient fucking zero.
So yeah, it was Bill Gates what done it.
Event 201, TJ.
What's this?
Event 201.
Let's see. Where's the comments? This is what I want to read on here.
Event 201 predicted it, TJ.
Do they
The
do
truth
comments
is
on
there.
this fucking site?
I'm not sure if InfoWars does comments. These are all banned videos, TJ.
They're smartening up.
Well, they don't want you to know about the coronavirus, TJ.
Man,
it is
they really-
infecting everyone, TJ. It's a
God damn it.
global pandemic.
Come on.
Keep
Aw,
going.
man. Oh, wait, comments?
Oh, it's loading.
Load it. Oh, sweet. So Gates wants to depopulate, yet he's developing a vaccine. And 65 million out of 7.5 billion? I like those odds. Just stay out of the city and avoid people, which is a good idea anyway, because people suck, and you'll probably make it just fine. Until the real virus gets released, because this, I have a feeling, is only a trial run. Watch celebrities, elites, and billionaires. If they disappear from the public eye, run.
Oh, shit.
This whole reaction online is coordinate and planned. They're #king with you.
They're wow.
The New World Order is an alien order, evil satanic creatures who are exterminating humanity so they can habit the planet after. Bill and Melinda shall keep dreaming. Alex, name the Bilderberg demons that shall follow General Soleimani on the President Trump assassination list to really celebrate a victory against evil? Which is a question, I suppose.
Incoherent,
Yes.
blathering nonsense.
InfoWars, heads up. The commies at Facebook are already flagging this as false with fact checkers on the article when you go to post it there. 65.
I wonder why they would do something like that.
Man, isn't that crazy?
Facebook
Fact-checking.
censoring these facts.
InfoWars is posting the truth, and of course, Facebook is covering it
Evil
up.
Facebook, man. 65 million deaths from poisonous inoculations. Gates knows this. The whole disease is fake. Pharma will grow richer.
These guys have all figured it out, dude.
The Gates have some explaining to do. What a coincidence. So, Attorney General Barr, are you going to investigate this strange coincidence or let it get away just like with Hillary?
So, go to the next article, please, TJ.
Okay.
So this thing's already been debunked, of course. It's not true. I mean, the Event 201 thing did happen, but the way they're categorizing it and presenting it is totally false.
I mean, everybody knew there was going to be another pandemic at some point. We already have had 2 coronavirus pandemics before, so...
And we had one of the guys at discoverers of SARS come out and say, like, it's only a matter of time.
So, I mean, like, it's not, like, beyond the pale to have a conference about that. It's not some weird, fishy thing.
Well, we'll get so just keep going down. Let's see.
All right.
So there's a coronavirus patent. The claim is inaccurate, and obviously we rated them, they say pants on fire, but it's just total bullshit. So several Facebook posts, tweets, articles, and YouTube videos allege that a vaccine developed for the coronavirus just as it started to spread earlier this month. Those claims were widely shared into anti-vaccine groups on Facebook, where some users said the disease could be a government plot to vaccinate more people.
No.
The coronavirus patent is owned by the Pure Bright Institute, says Shiva. I'm not even fucking.
Where'd he get that?
A Republican running for U.S. Senate, Massachusetts, in a Facebook post. Ayaduril, I don't know how to fucking say that.
Ayadura something.
Has been associated with a variety of conspiracy theorists and right-wing provocateurs.
Provocateur.
And of course, there are no vaccines available for any coronaviruses, let alone the Wuhan one. Thank you, John
So there
Hopkins.
is no vaccine.
FEMA proposes martial law.
I love that like anti-vaxxers are simultaneously spreading disease all over the place and then pointing at everybody else and going, they're spreading disease.
The government doing it to keep us down. In an article published on January 23rd, a website called Twisted Truth, well, isn't that the truth, wrote that the head of the Federal Emergency Management Agency, also known as FEMA, had called on President Donald Trump to impose martial law in the United States, which would transfer power to the military.
And they're really scared of FEMA, dude.
They are, man.
Like, this has been going on for a while now, this, like, paranoia about FEMA.
Well, think about it, too, because it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Because if one of these viruses does take off here in the United States, people are going to have to be quarantined. So there's going to be a government agency probably enforcing that quarantine. And it's just like...
Well, that's all you can do with the virus. You can't
It's confirming these people's worst fears. They're like, oh, yeah. They're going to round us up into these, when that's what they need to be doing.
You gotta love it.
Oh, my God, they're doing the natural precaution that should be done if this happens.
And, of course, this article. So, Gates Foundation predicted virus-funded group who owns virus patent. So... several Facebook posts, blogs, and YouTube videos claim the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation predicted and are somehow profiting from the coronavirus outbreak. The allegations were circulated widely on QAnon and other conspiracy Facebook groups and pages, as well as 4chan, of course. What a great source of information. A fringe internet forum where retards go to fucking jerk off and do whatever. But this claim takes unrelated events and financial connections out of context and morphs them into an inaccurate narrative about the coronavirus. As evidenced, those posts point to financial ties between the Gates Foundation and the United Kingdom-based Pure Bright Institute, as well as an event held on October 18, 2019. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, the Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health, and the World Economic Forum hosted an event in NYC where policymakers, business leaders, and health officials worked together on a simulated coronavirus outbreak, read an article published in a website called IntelliHub. It says, of course, PolitiFact has debunked some of this content before. The article was republished on InfoWars, a conspiracy website run by Alex Jones. And, of course, blah, 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 Alex Jones is evil.
Alex Jones bad.
Yeah. The October 18th outbreak simulation did happen, and tax records show that Gates Foundation had supported Pure Bright Institute in the past. The Pure Bright Institute owns a patent for a form of coronavirus that could potentially be used as a vaccine to prevent diseases in animals. Pure Bright scientists do not currently work on human coronaviruses like the Wuhan strain. But those disparate facts don't prove the Gates Foundation had somehow profited from the most recent outbreak of coronavirus. If anything, they show the foundation has funded organizations to prevent the epidemic or epidemics.
Yeah, so I love how an organization is like trying to work on this problem, and in the process of doing that, they're labeled as like, oh, you're obviously fucking the one spreading it.
And what an evil rich dude providing capital for groups that are trying to fucking study these viruses and eliminate them.
And the other claim they, of course, to make about the Event 201 thing, was talking about the simulation. That was just like, they even said that the coronavirus thing was just for illustrative purposes. It wasn't like they were talking about this strain. Like, no one was even thinking about this strain at the time. Of course, conspiracy theorists will just say that's a lie because, they knew it was going to come out.
It was created in a lab as a bioweapon for population control.
Gotta go back to that one. These claims are baseless, and they conflate the Wuhan coronavirus with other illnesses, other strains of the illness. Our friends at factcheck.org and Health Feedback debunk similar conspiracy theories.
I don't believe it.
So Facebook posts and tabloids have said the Wuhan coronavirus was created in a lab, with some going as far as saying the illness is a bioweapon for population control. One video created by David Zublik was a history of propagating conspiracies, has more than 12,000 views on YouTube.
Cool.
Which, of course, we got to keep that on YouTube. the guy that's saying that it was created in a lab for population control. Gotta let him have his fucking.
Dude, you guys aren't gonna believe this. I just got an update on my phone. There's breaking coronavirus news that just hit the fucking presses here. Let me get the page open here and read you guys the headline.
All right, man.
A health official in Wuhan, China says that, quote, the bodies of recently deceased Wuhan victims. Hold on, there's an ad for yogurt. Let me scroll past that. Are, quote, returning to life and attacking the living.
Damn.
Oh, shit.
Well, dude, look, that's probably just a conspiracy theory. I'm sure everything in Wuhan is fine. They're doing fine.
Oh. Sounds like they got it under control over there.
Can you scroll down?
Everything's fine.
To show this image. No, I'll just go up a little bit. This is from Zero Hedge, which is some conspiracy theory. And it says, Fiverr, grow your business. They have ads, of course, and it's, did China steal coronavirus from Canada and weaponize it?
I think so.
So China stole coronavirus from Canada, would make sense to me, and weaponized it into a bioweapon. This claim is false. Actually, for once, this thing is not true. They definitely fucking did this. This fucking conspiracy theory is not a conspiracy theory. It is just a statement of fact. So here's the evidence, TJ. So last year, a mysterious shipment.
Oh, shit. Look.
Oh, fuck, dude.
Live footage from the event.
Oh, man.
Damn.
Is this a picture from Wuhan?
Yeah.
Oh,
this is one of the
shit.
newly risen dead.
This is a feed from Wuhan, China right now, ladies and gentlemen. We're actually breaking this right now.
Oh, my God.
Wow. That's
Sorry.
insane.
Well, we'll check back on that in a second.
So last year, TJ, a mysterious shipment was caught smuggling coronavirus from Canada. It was traced to Chinese agents working at a Canadian lab, the story reads.
Oh, shit.
The story focused on the National Microbiology Laboratory in Winnipeg. In 2013, TJ, researchers there were investigating a new cluster of coronavirus infections that appeared to have originated in Saudi Arabia. Great Game India implies the disease is the same one that's currently affecting China. But the lab examining the MERS coronavirus.
Uh-huh.
The CDC and World Health Organizations are still investigating the cause of the coronavirus. So we don't know, of course. We said bats. Could it be bats again? We don't fucking know. Okay, and then this one is China will admit virus came from lab linked to its covert biological weapons programs. Now this one, I don't know. This could be the T-virus one.
There are reports of 10,000 dead in Wuhan.
Coronavirus reports of 10,000 dead
Wuhan.
in Wuhan, China, the story reads. Of course, shared 2,000 times on Facebook.
Of course, man.
Why not just believe, man?
That might be right. Who knows? Who fucking knows with China?
So, guys, I'm sure this episode is giving you comfort, knowing that
I'm happy. I mean, I feel like everything's under
that
control.
despite the fact that we have no treatment, we have no idea, maybe bats, where it came from. That if it spreads around the world, it could kill 50, 100 billion people.
I'm just grateful that
There's
we
nothing
live.
to worry about.
Look, I'm just grateful that we live in a rational place with rational people
That will learn from its
making
mistakes.
informed decisions and not spreading misinformation.
I'm also happy that I live in an area of the world where there's not a lot of rodents and bats and rats and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
So I'm pretty good with this. I'm okay with it.
yeah.
I just hope those bats, the bats of America don't go fucking have a meeting with the Chinese bats and start spreading the fucking disease all around.
Well, we treat bats better here. You know what I mean? We're not eating them in soup and shit. So
Yeah,
we're in line over here.
Yeah, we have bats here. We just don't fucking eat them. They're not for breakfast. So,
Well, I'm sure some people.
We'll just go to
fucking
some
eat 'em.
bat caves and yell at the bats. We don't fucking eat you here. It's the Chinese. Just kill them.
Let's just leave them
We're
alone.
good.
Just stay out of their bad caves.
yeah, let the bats have their own fucking thing.
I don't need to go in them caves.
We'll broadcast a message to them. We'll do that. What do they do? Like sonar or
Why do we
shit?
need to? I mean, let them alone. They're
Yeah,
fine. They ain't
just let
fucking-
them do
No,
whatever they
TJ,
want to
because
do.
if they know that we're their friends, dude, then maybe they'll spare us.
I think that they might just fucking resent our fucking intrusion into their society. They'll just be like, "What
Yeah,
the
that's
fucking?"
how
know what, TJ?
that's how you are a friend to a bat. You just leave it the fuck alone and let it do
You know
whatever
what, you
bat
guys
shit it
are
needs
leading
to
us
do.
down to a path of destruction. I say we go communicate with the bats immediately. We talk to the bats. We look at them. We come into close contact with them and let them know that we're not there to hurt them, and everything's going to be fine.
All right, you get started. I'll be right behind you,
All right,
Scotty.
great. I'm going to start tomorrow.
Go into the bat cave.
That's it, TJ. Unless some other bullshit you got to say. Got something else to say?
I don't.
Yeah, you don't know shit.
I don't.
I don't.
I don't know nothing about coronavirus. It seems scary to me.
I'm just a simple soldier. I don't know nothing.
Did TJ like 5 minutes ago fucking sneezed, and he was out there messing with that possum last night? We're fucked.
You guys
Like, we
got it.
now.
Fuck, dude.
You got Americanus Cronus.
Well,
dude.
TJ, I'm going to do that real slit. I'm gonna do a real slit, dude.
Corona Americanus. That's what you guys have. It's spread by possums. I was just touching that possum. I was poking it with a stick, you know? So.
The only way you can stop it is with the blood of somebody who was recently infected. So, TJ, sorry, but you got to go.
You're dead, TJ.
Dead.
You're fucking dead.
Dead.
Damn, dude. Well, we'll be all right then.